Moving alone in your 20s is one of the most daunting things you could do. Whether you're an experienced traveler or you're finally taking the risk of leaving home, it's a leap of faith. And it's not something that you'll know that will work out in the end, but who knows, maybe it will. My name is Dee and I make travel content as well as lifestyle content. I am Colombian American and I've lived in both of those countries, as well as the Czech Republic, Morocco, and now Australia. These experiences have given me so much wisdom, insights, and culture into all of these different places. I think that I'm extremely lucky to have been able to live in these places and intimately get to know their cultures. And I think that if I can, then you can too. I moved from the US to Morocco and Australia in my 20s. And yes, it was daunting for me. Yes, I was sitting at the airport, ready to start my 20-hour journey thinking, am I crazy? Is this gonna work? Why am I doing this? It's completely normal and something that has made my life so much better in the end. Just as there's good things, it's always essential to consider bad things to each decision. One of the biggest cons is that the support group that you once had, such as your family and friends, are now really far away. You'll get used to doing things alone and taking risks. But the ability to chat with familiar loved ones is greatly diminished because of time zones. Like when you're awake and you need somebody to vent to, and that's not really possible. But this could also affect your relationship with those friends and family if you're not trying to maintain those relationships. And visiting can be both difficult financially as well as time-wise. You'll learn to budget that time and money to see the people you really care about. Another con is that while you live with family, you save money, but when you move away from family, you tend to, spend more money. Things like worrying about food and cleaning are things that are an everyday thing for many adults. But when you live with family, it's much easier to just focus on your career and personal life. But I think that sometimes these risks outweigh the safety net. Another pro is that you get to start a new community. And while initially this is really difficult, because think about it, you've had years creating whatever community you have at home, and you need to start a new one. Give yourself a little grace. I think anything less than a year is not giving you a fair chance to actually meet people. And you need to build and maintain a community. You need to have a new support system. It allows you to be a little bit more grounded and stay emotionally stable. You'll notice that expats tend to connect with other expats more easily than the country of place. Making friends is definitely harder as an adult. But a con about this is that you never know when those friends will come and go. And I've learned that it takes a while to figure out who your actual friends are. Some other things to consider are life logistics, like buying furniture, signing leases, dealing with landlords, getting a bank account, a phone number, figuring out how to do things alone. These are things that just are part of life and of being an adult, but sometimes can be a little difficult navigating with a country system that you're not used to. For example, in Morocco, I had to pay an electricity bill and I got billed way more than expected. And I'm not that fluent in Arabic, so I had to reach out to someone to help me reduce that price a little and to understand why it went up so high. Another thing is figuring out where to buy certain things. So for example, in Australia, I had no idea where to buy things that I would buy in CVS in America, which is like a pharmacy / grocery store. There's a place called Chemist Warehouse. It just took a while for me to figure that out, and it's stuff like that. Similarly, for other countries and other situations, it's just going to take some time for you to know where to go to get some things. Also, people in different countries use different lingo. So here in Australia, some of the fun ones that I've learned is minced meat or capsicum. And there's other examples, of course, but that's the top of my head. Either just a language barrier or just completely different cultural ways of explaining things. Dating is also hard because it's hard to find people to click with, and you never know if they're gonna stay or go, especially as an expat. I think it's one of those harder things about being a traveler or abroad. When you move into a new country, you're usually single and you're trying to figure out what you want. Another con is that you're trying to figure out your place in life, like your friends, your base, your family, how to build good habits, figuring out money, stability, relationships. All of this is just making you think, what are you gonna do? But the biggest pro about this is that it leads you to become very independent and open-minded and learn who you actually are. You become braver and riskier and are willing to take more opportunities. And it also kind of reprograms your life. Through traveling, you get to meet people with different perspectives and different walks of life. And I still started to come to the realization that wherever I am in the world, I will be okay. There's a lot of pressure for you to stay in the path. And I think you gotta just say, this is not my path, instead of following whatever was written for you. What do you want to do? If you don't know yet, that's totally fine, but your 20s are a great opportunity for you to explore things that you want to do. I think another pro is that a lot of people that are successful tend to have international experience. It just shows that you're versatile and you can adapt to different places and processes and succeed. This is living proof that you are an adaptable and culturally aware person, and your 20s are a great moment to just start laying the bricks of your career. Now, don't get me wrong, moving abroad is not going to fix your life. Whatever fantasy you have about running away and leaving your problems behind, it usually just follows you along. So instead of ignoring whatever problems you're trying to not deal with by moving away, use it as an opportunity to learn what you can fix about yourself and do better. Is my life perfect after moving abroad? No. I think it's pretty much the same problems that I had when I was in the US. But I think it's risks that I've taken and the people that I've met along the way that have made it so much more worth it. And yes, I get lonely and I think about my family all the time and how they're living their lives and the ones who are having kids and building families at this point. But I don't think that anyone's life is perfect or set in stone. I think that everyone has their struggles, and whatever path you take is your path in the end. My moving abroad has introduced me to so many different cultures and has given me different versions of myself that I wouldn't have known otherwise. It exposes you to different languages and melting pots and country backgrounds that just bring out different sides of you. Lastly, if you're in your 20s, it's more likely that you do not have any commitments, any partner, any kids, mortgage, any of that. So if you don't have anything holding you back, why don't you just try it out? Great things never come from living a life of comfort. Get comfortable being uncomfortable, and that way when you're a little older, you won't be stuck with the question, what if? If you like this video, please give me a like and subscribe, and also comment. If you're an expat, how's that going? Thank you. Bye.